the spot, bringing stats like a kingpin. MMA knowledge meets his nephews all lean in. Breaking down fights, call him Stat Daddy Supreme. On just a tip show, he's cooking up a dream. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Wanna know the numbers? Weezy got them cataloged. From the fighters reach down to how many times they dog. Just a tip living, breaking it down slick. Hit you with the knowledge, won't miss a single trick. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Balls deep predictions, he be making those calls. Getting in the details, opponents feeling small. From jazz to takedowns, got the whole fight ID. Uncle Weezy spitting truth, no lie, keep it G. Blow the horn, blow the horn. Stat Daddy Weezy not showing no scorn. Fight night kingdom, he wearing the crown. Break it down for the peeps, never looking like a clown.
Oi! Yes. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday afternoon. We just had the weigh-ins for UFC Vegas 95, and it was a bit of a shit show, if we're being honest with each other here. We had Chepe Mariscal miss weight by 3.5 pounds. We had Chelsea Chandler just show up like 5 pounds heavy. Didn't even look like she trained. Then we had Danny Barlow. He missed by, I think, 1/2 pound or 1/4 pound. And I was like, why the hell didn't he just shave the rat tail? You shave the rat tail and you make weight. And I mean, you don't need that thing anyway. So Danny Barlow, what are you doing, man? Shave the rat tail, make weight, keep 100% of your purse. Everybody wins, right? We don't got to look at you with that rat tail. You don't have to give up 20% of your purse. I mean, come on. I don't know why he didn't do that, but here we are. You know, now he missed weight. Now he's got to pay 20% of his purse to his opponent, you know, who's taking the fight on short notice. So very interesting card here. It's a bit of a shit show. Like we said, we got a last minute replacement here with Kong Lee fighting Chris Gutierrez after Basharad had to pull out of this fight. We've had a couple other fights canceled. Filio versus Nascimento. Uros Medic had to pull out. He was going to be fighting. Who the hell was he fighting? I think it was going to be. Fuck it. Who cares? Either way, this is an interesting card. I don't have a lot of action. I'm going to add some spots a little bit later on today. But I wanted to see what these weigh-ins looked like because it's not exactly the kind of card you want to be, you know, neck deep in, but there are going to be some opportunities for some of these guys to wind up. There are some dog spots that are sticking out this week. I think that we could see some upsets after only having one favorite last week, actually, or I'm sorry, one underdog get the job done last week. So let me just get right into this parlay for you guys here. If you want all of my tracked bets, you can go to patreon.com/UncleWeezy or the Dub Club address. Both of them are in the description of this video, and it'll be an opportunity for you to take a look at the stats packages that I offer to MMA gamblers who like to do their own research. So check out the Patreon, check out the Dub Club. Descriptions in the link to this, links to in the description of this video. So let's just get right into it here. Leg number one for this parlay is going to be the Stephany Luciano money line. I think that this is a great spot for her. I thought she won the first fight pretty convincingly. Actually, the second round wasn't close. She did all the damage, 100% of the damage in that round. And Alan Carr was really just kind of like shooting to save her life. She had no business being on the feet with really anybody in the strawweight division. I mean, one of the worst strikers in the strawweight division, bar none, is Rayan Amanda, when that's Talita Alan Carr's last opponent. And this girl was piecing up Talita Alan Carr in the stand-up. I mean, like, Luciano would do bad things to Rayan Amanda. And this girl, Rayan Amanda, almost beat Alan Carr. It was a very close fight. If both of them hadn't gassed out and done nothing in the third round, I think it would have been an easy win for her. But Luciano's got 5-round experience. She's had a couple of very mature performances for a 24-year-old prior to being in the UFC. And like I said, I thought she clearly won the last fight. I scored round 1 for her purely on damage, but obviously she gave up a ton of control time in that round. So I see why Alencar got the nod, but the second round wasn't close. Alencar got some control time, didn't do anything with it, and Luciano beat the brakes off of her on the feet. So I like the Luciano money line here. I thought that this was going to close somewhere around minus 220, but we got up to like minus 190, and then a lot of money came in on the Alencar side. So really big on the Luciano side here. I've got bets to her to win by KO in rounds 2 or 3, and I'm probably going to be parlaying her money line with something else that I like later on in the that we're going to talk about as the last leg of this parlay. But there's going to be some more track bets for me on the Luciano side. I'm very confident about her this week. The second leg of this parlay is going to be the Haralampos Grigoriou money line at minus 258. This is Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. I believe that Grigoriou is going to be almost as good, if not better, of a grappler than Kazama is here. But on the feet, that this isn't even close. Grigoriou does have a ton of power, and Kazama's been knocked out in 3 of his 4 losses. He looks completely lost on the feet at this level. And I don't think that his like unique brand of jiu-jitsu is going to play well at this level. He's not some massive submission specialist here. A guy like Grigoriou was very well equipped to handle a fairly one-dimensional fighter like Kazama, who's really just going to try to out-grapple you. And even when he gets you down, he's good there. But I think that Grigoriou has seen better and probably is going to be able to hang on the ground with Kazama. But while this is on the feet, I think Grigoriou is going to take his head off. So I'm looking for Grigoriou to shave this guy's ass, take him out of there around 1 or 2 by KO. But the longer this fight goes, I think that Kazama's cardio is better. And if he can have some grappling success early, this could get a little bit ugly. But like I said, I think that Grigoriou might even be the better grappler here, as silly as it sounds when you see that Kazama is a guy who relies on his grappling in order to win. Grigoriou is a well-rounded mixed martial artist at a very good camp who's in the room with some of the best grapplers that the UFC's bantamweight division has to offer. So, I like Grigoriou quite a bit here in this one, and I'm making him the second leg of this parlay. So first leg, Stephany Luciano money line at minus 155. Second leg, Haralampos Grigoriou money line minus 258 brings us up to plus 128 after 2 legs here. Leg number 3, we're going down to the Damon Jackson fight. I've got a track bet on Damon Jackson to win by decision. Got that at plus 500. I've got it for a half unit. I don't like that Chepe Mariscal missed weight here. That could be an indication of some kind of an injury. And sometimes if you are injured before a fight, it doesn't allow you to do the necessary cardio work, the groundwork to not only lose that extra weight that helps make the weight cut go a little bit smoother, but gives you the cardio to be able to push a pace for the full 15. He might be hurt, Mariscal. He's definitely going to be undersized. I give Damon Jackson the grappling advantage in this fight, and him being much taller and much longer than Chepe. I really feel like Chepe needs to be 100% and needs to push a pace for the entire 15 minutes and really just outwork Damon in order to win this fight, because I'm not entirely sure where Chepe looks minus 220 against a guy like Damon Jackson. Where? In striking range? I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure Damon Jackson isn't as durable as Chepe, but it's not like Chepe hasn't been absolutely destroyed on the feet before. It's not like this guy hasn't had prayer circles around him while he's been unconscious for like 45 seconds to a minute after being viciously knocked out. It's happened a couple of different times to Chepe. So it's not just like Damon's chinny. Chepe has been absolutely flatlined on a couple of occasions as well. He's shorter. He's less long. And I think that Damon Jackson, a guy who's 15-1 to the submission in his pro career, is somebody that is absolutely live to win a bunch of minutes in the grappling positions here. And if Chepe isn't 100%, if he does have some kind of an injury, if his conditioning didn't allow him, or if his injury didn't allow him to do the necessary conditioning work to cut that extra weight, to have the conditioning necessary to push this pace, I think Damon can win this fight. And at the very least, I think he could take it to decision and win one round here. So the plus 3.5 points handicap on DraftKings right now for Damon Jackson is minus 120. So if we do that, that brings this parlay up to plus 318. And then the last leg is going to be an alternative over-under for the main event. And it is going to be the over 2.5 rounds at minus 175 for Marcin Tybura versus Sergey Spivak. That brings this parlay up to plus 557 for 4 legs. So we're going against the data here. If you look at my betting model for this fight on the over-unders, the over 2.5 at sitting at, which was at minus 152 earlier in the week. Now it's at minus 175 here on DraftKings. Only one of 3 Tybura fights that's been scheduled for 5 rounds has went over 2.5 rounds. And it's the same thing with Spivak. But the problem is that Spivak, one of his fights was against Derek Lewis, and Derek Lewis is no ground game. So Spivak was able to get him down and finish him. Also, he fought, it was Cyril Gane absolutely destroyed him. And that was because the striking wasn't close. But it's not like Spivak's going to be able to finish Marcin Tybura on the ground, who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Like he did some of these other guys like Tuivasa, like the guy we just talked about, Derek Lewis. These guys have trash ground games. So I think that these guys are very well matched, and that because of that, you're going to see this fight go probably the full 25 minutes here, because neither one of these guys has knockout power on the feet. And both of these guys tend to finish fights when they win, when they have an opponent that's just much worse than them on the ground. And these guys are well matched on the ground. So I like the overs in this fight. Even though the data absolutely hates it, stylistically, I think that these guys are well matched. I think that these guys are going to spend actually a lot of time at distance striking range, not landing a lot of shots. And I think that this is going to cruise over 12.5 minutes here. So the last leg is non-violence in the main event, going that over 2.5 rounds for Tybura versus Spivak at minus 175 to take this parlay up to plus 557 on DraftKings Sportsbook. That is going to be your greasy 4-leg parlay for this week. Stephany Luciano money line minus 155. Haralan Post Grigoriou, Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, the money line at minus 258. We got the Damon Jackson plus 3.5 points handicap at minus 120, and the over 2.5 rounds in the Tybura Spivak fight at minus 175. See what you guys are up to in the chat. We got Presidente Pedro in the room saying, "Oi, what is up, Pedro? Good to see you hanging out in here." Justin Tony saying, "Oi." And we got Jay Wallace saying, "Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks. Let's do it, man. I want to do it this week." We haven't hit one of these in a minute. 4-leg parlays are hard to hit, but we've been 3 out of 4 legs, I think like 4 out of the last 5 weeks or something like that. We're coming very, very close. And I really do think that it's the leg I'm most worried about is the Damon Jackson plus 3.5 points handicap. But I do think that he can get the job done for us here and keep this fight close, if not win it. Tyrone in the room saying, right on time, Unc. Stay litty. What is up, Tyrone? Good to see you hanging out in here. Let's cash this thing. We've got Rob Pagorni in the room saying, "Yo, Unc, long time no see. Let's go, baby." What's up, Rob? Good to see you hanging out in here, brother. Yeah, we have not hung out in a while. I got to get over by our guy Calance's place, and we got to hang out, watch some fights, dude. We got Presidente Pedro saying, "Get some help, Chandler." Yeah, she showed up way, way heavy, looking like she could have easily made the weight if she was in great shape, but she is not. Covert Bets MMA saying, "Yo, what is up, Covert?" Saying, oi. We got Tarzan Strickland saying, oi. We got Desi saying, this card sucks. Nothing an IPA can't fix, though. That is for sure, man. We got Broke DGen saying, fellow Strickland avatar or named Tarzan saying, except he should totally change his nickname to American Psycho. Like my shirt logo says on my avatar and on my shirt. What's up, Broke DGen? Good to see you hanging out in here. We got Jeff K asking, what's good, Weezy? What's good is we're about to cash some tickets here on tomorrow. I would say on Saturday, but actually I've said on tomorrow. Terrible, terrible grammar, but we'll get past it. Good to see you hanging out, Jeff. Yes, and Rat Tails should have been left in the 90s. That is... And he could have just shaved it off. I mean, I'm sure he probably would have made the weight. There are even beads on that thing. Those beads weigh something. I mean, come on. What are you doing, dude? Shave the rat tail. We got Grateful Dude in the room. Good to see you hanging out in here, Grateful Dude, saying, oi, yes. Jeff saying, this is definitely one of those. Maybe I'll watch it Sunday morning cards. I hear you, man. It's not fantastic. That is for sure. We got Bill Norman saying, what's up, Unc? Missed when you came to Indianapolis. Yeah, man, I was down there at, what was that? It was the Indiana Brewers Fest beer festival that we had. And then we went back by my brother's house afterwards and had a party there. It was awesome. Had a great time in Indianapolis. Love that city. Love the people down there. Yeah, great stuff, man. I love that place. Zach Johnson in the room saying, Weezy, oi, what is up, Zach? We got Quincy Brown saying, Damon, yes, sir. Damon sub. He doesn't have the defensive wrestling to deal with Jackson. And yeah, and if he's hurt, it's going to make it even harder to deal with that grappling game of Damon Jackson. Yeah, dude, he looked like El Chapo on the scale. I wonder what's up with Chepe. He's a true professional. This is not like him to show up 3.5 pounds heavy for a fight that he's had a full training camp for. So I'm really worried about the Chepe side this week. Let's see. Do you have taken a big shit right now with you guys are all with me? There you go. There you go, man. We got Weezy, El Chapo, the drug lord. Yes, that is right. Yes, that's what he's saying. Abdi saying this card doesn't deserve a Greasy four-legger. LOL. Thanks, though. You got it, Abdi. Yeah, I mean, it's all right, man. They all deserve a Greasy four-legger. We got to try to have some fun. We got Can't Miss the Weezy four-legger, says Broke DGen. We got Alex Ramirez in here taking notes, saying press the like button, and DGen said he did. We got my guy Swinger in the room saying, let's go, Uncle Weezy. We are cashing these tickets like flapjacks. What's up, Chris? Good to see you hanging out in here, my man. We got Broke DGen saying, is that really a black dude named Tyrone, or is that a joke, dude? That is like the fake name, right? Like if you were going to make up a black guy name. No, I'm pretty sure that's my dude's name. We got General Alex a la Verga. We got Bill Norman in the room saying Chepe looked off, like this camp was rough. There might be something going on with him, but you never know. Sometimes these guys show up 3 pounds heavy, 3.5 pounds heavy, and then they come in there looking fine on fight day. Like they plan to miss weight or whatever. So I don't know, man. It's not exactly something that we can make a bet just based on the weigh-ins. I always think that that's a little bit of a risky thing to do because there is some strategy in this game sometimes. And maybe he's trying to come in heavy so he can deal with the wrestling of Jackson. But I mean, these guys are professionals. They get paid to fight. Why would they want to show up 3.5 pounds heavy, get 30% of their purse deducted? It makes absolutely no sense. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. But I already, prior to the weight miss, had a bet on Damon Jackson to win by decision. So after the weight miss, seeing that plus 3.5 points close to even money is something I definitely want to play. We got Moyes in the room. Always good to see Moyes in here saying, Judge Alex, probation. Let's go, Uncle Weezy, says Gabriella, who's in the room. Good to see you hanging out in here. We got Robert saying can we all appreciate UFC 300? These cards are painful. Yeah, they are. But if we make money on them, it's always a great card. You know, it's like your favorite card of the year can be the biggest trash card as long as you bank 12 units. You're like, hey, you know, that was fun for me. And then we got Bill Norman. Yeah, history has shown fighters that come in heavy usually win. Yeah, but, you know, let's say that can be a very deceptive stat, because like, let's say the fighters that are coming in were minus 200 favorites, which means that they should win 2/3 of the time, but they're going out there and winning 60% of the time. You could say, oh, hey, they're winning 60% of the time, but they should be winning 66% of the time, depending on the implied probability of the win line. So it plays into that. And sometimes, you're going to see fighters that were big underdogs who came in on weight cashing underdog tickets because their opponent showed up heavy and did not look good. So it's one of those stats that, like, you can't take too much comfort in it either way. But oftentimes, when I see a fighter like Mariscal who's not showing up heavy, when this guy's always making weight, and then, you got a career that's over 20 fights long, and then all of a sudden you show up one time and you're 3.5 pounds heavy. It's there. That's variance. That's variance that can indicate maybe a less predictable performance. And a less predictable performance for a fighter that's minus 220 on the money line, that's scary, because you don't want a less predictable performance. Less predictable performance from a big favorite means they probably lose. So yeah, very interesting. When we have these weight misses, it can be argued both sides, and it's important when you can argue both sides to not let that information be the entire basis for your decision. Remdog is in the room saying, "You the man, Unc. Anything you would recommend if Jackson plus 3.5 is unavailable to us?" Yeah, that was a problem. You guys, one of the things I've been talking about recently is that I want to start busting these parlays down to 3 legs, because oftentimes I'd like to find one leg that's probably close to even money, and then 2 of my more confident underpriced legs of the week, and make that, because it's always the fucking 4th leg. I shit you not. Like I'll have 3 legs picked. I'll be like, I like this leg, and this leg. And I'll be like, I'm trying to come up with a 4th leg. And it's if one of the legs isn't going to cash, it's always that fucking 4th leg. So like, my recommendation would be to play it as a 3-legger. I think this 3-legger cashes. If Jackson isn't available, the 3-legger plays plus 258. Play that, and play it maybe for a little more money, because I love all 3 of these legs: the Luciano money line, the Grigoriou money line, the Spivak over. I love all those spots, but if I'm looking to try to find something else at minus 200 that isn't like juiced to the tits or overpriced, like Carl Williams at minus 198. Dude, this guy hasn't finished anybody at the UFC level, and he could wind up sleeping at any point of the 15 minutes of this fight if he's not careful on the feet, and he's very hittable. So that's terrifying. But like Carl Williams by decision earlier in the week is plus 195. Like if I hadn't already bet on Diniz on the money line at plus 185, I'd be betting that, because that's fucking that's bonkers that you would get his money line at 66%, but his decision line at 34%. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I would just leave that off, because there's nothing else that I would be comfortable playing here. I mean, maybe Veretennikov plus 3.5, but the reason you're asking that question is because you don't have points handicaps. Make it a 3-legger, cash the thing, and then move on to next week. That would be definitely, the slimy 3-legger, says Rob Pagorni. You could absolutely make it a slimy 3-legger, and that's probably the way to go if you don't like one of the legs. And that plus 258 probably hits, but when we take that plus 3.5 points handicap, it brings it up to plus 557. It's a lot better. But yeah, there really isn't anything. If you want to get like cheeky, maybe go Zalal by decision, but I could see him potentially getting a submission here. If you're on the Carl Williams side, go Williams by decision and get it up to something like plus 1,000. That would be the way I would change it. We got UFC 305 will be amazing. It is the Battle of Africa. You got the South African in Dricus du Plessis against the guy who left Africa as fast as he possibly could to get to New Zealand, and now he's claiming to be the real true champion of Africa. Well, you don't live there, buddy, so Dricus does. Battle of Africa. Let's see who wins this one, man. It's going to be an interesting fight, dude. We haven't seen Izzy in about a year now. And in his last performance, he looked like a shadow of himself against Sean Strickland. So let's see how he comes back. And we got Alex in here, the general, saying what's up to Moyes. Chepe by KO, says Alex Ramirez. We got Broke Degen saying, no joke, these cards are all nearly as good as the Sphere. I was going to go if Connor was there. Now it's literally a trash card with 2 good fights, in my opinion. I can't wait to see how that one turns out because the visuals there are going to probably be amazing. Let's see. I owe you for putting $10 on full card parlay with all your picks from last week. That hit, Weezy. I'm glad it did, Danny. I keep calling you Danny. Daniel. I'm glad it did because that is very hard to do to go 13 for 13 like I did last week and go first place on Tapology. I literally had the best picks out of the 5,500 people that put in picks. I was number 1 with my fight prediction, the method prediction, and the round prediction. So I'm glad that hit for you, Daniel. Always good to hit a 13-leg parlay. They very, very rarely hit. So good on you for hitting it, Daniel. Remdog in here with the sunglasses and the flapjacks. Weezy, Barlow going to find this chin. I think he probably could, man. Yeah, I mean, Barlow's a very special striker. That's why Veretennikov, I do like Veretennikov this week. I think the money line is way too wide, and I think Veretennikov can win minutes and moments in the clinch and can out-wrestle Danny Barlow. And if he fights smart, he won't spend a lot of time at striking range with Danny Barlow because Barlow is a sniper with an absolute ton of power. So, yeah, I think Barlow by KO around even money is not a bad play. Broke D Jensen, I told Weezy about that during his last live stream when he made the picks. He said he doesn't do the full card parlays because always do one every week myself. I don't usually go with anyone's. Yeah, man, I usually don't. And if you want to follow me on I am Vic Vinegar here on let's see, let me tapped in as Vic Vinegar, so you can find me here, Vic Vinegar on Tapology, Honey and Vinegar Realty. We got the great quote here. I fell in love with the box by Renato Moicano. Vic Vinegar on Tapology. Follow me there. Hey, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, guys. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Please consider joining the Patreon so you can get access to my over-under betting model, my prop betting model, the side-by-side stats with the distance striking statistics, with the grappling statistics, with everything that you need all in one page to cap a fight, individual fighter statistics, DFS stats for DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks, and Underdog for every fighter on the card. Join the Patreon, support the work. It's the best way to make sure that I keep showing up here for free on YouTube for you guys. Thank you, guys. And my guy Cody, my guy Remdog, broke Degen's in there. He's on the Patreon. We got Remdog, he's on the Patreon. We got my guy Cody's Calls, he's on the Patreon. Join us. Join the community. We have a lot of fun here. We share a lot of information about these fights, and we bounce information off each other and help each other become better gamblers and make more money. So come join the Patreon, support the work, and we'll see you guys next week. You guys, let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 95. God bless each and every one of you guys, and we will see you next week for UFC 305 after we make some money this week on UFC Vegas 95. Great. Have a great Friday, everybody, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.